I just put out a couple short videos about these crazy roots on these elderberry, and I felt like this was a good time to do a slightly longer form video about how I'm going to propagate those roots out to get a whole bunch of wildwood elderberry clones. So I'm setting up my little workstation here. It's just a simple little plywood table, literally in the middle of the garden in the nursery. I'm going to put a side on one of these boxes right here. I had removed the sides as I excavated the cuttings this spring, and now I'm just going to drill one of the sides back on to make another box. So I'm going to do that right now. All right, real simple, just 3 screws. Now the box is back together. Now I'm going to go get some wood chips and the elderberry. All right, it's actually starting to rain. It's very pretty out, but it's starting to rain. So I got the elderberry here on the table. I've got a bucket of pretty broken down wood chips. You can see there's some dirt mixed in here. And I'm going to put this, I'm going to about half fill this box with it right now. About like so. I'm just going to throw out the big pieces real fast. Just kind of spread it out. This is the temporary heel in little layer here I'm going to do just to get these roots undercover and into a place where I think they'll keep for a while. And or if they start to root in here, because I abandoned them for the winter, I might be able to get them to root in here and get them to last until spring, where I can go plant them out over here into this big meadow. It's like raining and now the sun's out. It's really kind of amazing out here right now. So here you go. You can see what we're going to work with here. I'm going to cut almost all these back and propagate these out into this box. And I wish I had more than one hand, but I'm going to make my first cut right here. And this is the piece that we have. This, I believe, could be cut down. You can already see here, this is trying to go up and find the surface of the soil, where it will turn into another cane, just like this. So I'm going to want to use that in there for sure, but I'm pretty sure I can get more cuttings out of this. See these discolorations where my pinky is? These are underground root nodes that are not dissimilar to the above ground nodes that you would use for softwood cutting propagation. So I believe if I cut this into 3 pieces, there's a decent chance these nodes will send out an apical sucker or bud and it'll propagate. So I'm going to divide this now. All right, here you go. There's my 3 segments. I want you to see it still kind of, intact, just segmented. I'm going to grab these pieces and I'm going to start just making sure I get the real big hunks out of here. And I'm going to lay them down pretty much flat, pretty close together, maybe an inch, inch and a half. This apical bud here, I'm going to stand up. Probably about like so. I like that. And now I'm going to process most of these roots the same way. All right, look at that. I didn't even get everything off I wanted yet. I still want to get a few more cuttings off this root, but the root is still gigantic. Plenty of storage here for this plant. And I've got all these root propagations. I'm not expecting them all to make it. I would be very satisfied if a third or a quarter of these made it. That's plenty for me. And I've got some advanced cuts here. Here's one I'm going to have some fun with. I'm going to put this in its own distinctive pot. The same with this one here. I'm going to put this in its own distinctive pot. And I'm going to take a couple more cuttings off of this. And here is the little side shoot that came off. I'm going to strip all the leaves off this. I'm also going to plant this into a pot. You can see it's got a little bit of root there. Not a lot, just a little bit, but that's more than we need. And then I'm going to strip the majority of the leaves off of this off of this. I may not cut down these first year cuttings. These first year stems into cuttings because I just don't have time to do even more propagations than this. So I'm going to hope that these will hold, and I'll probably prune these down to probably 2 or 3 feet high in the spring before this thing wakes up. It's still drizzling. A lot of this is just experimentation, and I've done this before several times. It actually works fairly well. And the little ones like this little root right here, this is going to absolutely grow. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 chance of making it. And the nice thing about doing things this way is that you get to see what works, and it's another method for propagating your elderberries. You know, a single elderberry can be divided between 10 and 50 times per year, depending upon how deep you want to go. I don't typically do root cuttings because I don't want to disturb the plants, but if I have to move a plant, it's a perfect opportunity to give it a shot. And so just for perspective here, if you assume every 2 nodes is going to be a viable soft/hardwood cutting, and you assume that half of these root and make it, which I think would be great, I can get a few more cuttings off these existing roots, and that could be as many as 40 or 50 divisions off of one 2-year-old plant. This is not bad. All right, now I'm going to cover these back up. I'm probably going to need another bucket of chips. I'm just pulling out the big uncomposted pieces of wood, but I'm just going to spread this out. I'd like this to be fairly thin, maybe an inch over the top maximum, at least for the first few weeks. I kind of want them to know which way is up, although they do, which is still fascinates me. Now you see right here how that top growth, it's a little bit exposed. I'll cover that just a little bit more. There we go. Perfect. It can see the sun, but it's very, very protected. Okay. See this right here? WW for wildwood. I made a tag to put on this mother plant because I will lose track. I will definitely forget which one this is, even with a video to reference back in the future. Since I have more wildwood to dig, I've decided to turn all of these fragments, instead of planting them in individual pots, I'm going to plant them all in this box similar to this. And so these 2 boxes will be completely full of wildwood elderberry propagations. It's going to be pretty much the same deal. About a half bucket of this incredibly carbonaceous, mostly broken down wood chips with a little bit of dirt and clay you can see in here mixed up. But this is not an ideal propagation mix. This is just what I have. This is guerrilla warfare propagation. There you have it. It's not glamorous. Now, interestingly enough, the sun is back out and the rain is gone. So the amount of time these roots can be exposed is probably seconds, not minutes. So I'm going to cover them immediately. And this is it. This is a pretty simple process here. I'm hoping these can be left unattended but watered once or twice, and they're either may begin rooting but then go dormant, and they'll wait until spring for me to actually have the time to take care of them. That's pretty much it. Ideally, I would have liked to put these in the ground, but I don't have a location yet. And so the boxes are actually better because I can move them around, take care of them a little bit, keep an eye on them. And then maybe before the snow flies, I can put these in the ground. But for right now, this is stasis. This will keep them in a bit of a holding pattern. And now I'm going to go find a shady place, probably the north side of a barn or something. And I'm going to put these boxes there and get back to work. And that's it. I hope that was at least somewhat interesting. I love doing stuff like this. And like I said, stay tuned and I will show you how many of these, if any, made it. Hopefully I get 20 or 30% success rate. Other than that, stay tuned. Going to be building some ponds, working on the compost shed again, propagating a crap ton more elderberries, building another greenhouse attached to a small homestead. Oh, I think also building a conversion van to road trip. I don't even know what the hell's going on. Anyway, hope to see you later.